Chapter 11 concerns managing the supply chain. This will be in two parts. The first is the make or buy decision. What parts of the service or what part of the product do I make or provide? And the second is, what portion do I buy in from outside? And the second then concerns, how do I manage the supply chain with regard to those items I get from outside? The make or buy decision is very fundamental, and some of the key aspects that companies take into account in making this decision concern: one, the retention of core competencies or core capabilities. It's so essential that companies actually retain the key technical aspects of the service or the product that makes that product unique and therefore makes it an important selling point in the marketplace. Whereas they can buy in non-core aspects, which may be one-off technical skills requirements or the less technical dimensions they can get from elsewhere. And that decision leads to the fact that they do not have to buy the capability themselves. They can use suppliers' capabilities or bring in suppliers' products as and when required. So what this does is enables them to use their cash in a much more effective way. So having made that decision, the question then is, what are the key aspects of managing the supply chain? Well, if you think of it as saying, well, I will now give this task to a supplier, what it does is change the whole role of what you need to manage well. So managing the supply chain then becomes a very different set of skills, because you don't own the company or the resources that are now making what you are now buying. So the skill sets have to be recognized and their differences have to be realized, and then you have to develop that capability to manage that well. The second is that once you're buying from outside, you are relying upon that supplier to meet your needs and your requirements. Whereas internally, you can change your resources and redirect them and reschedule them to do what you need quickly, whereas that is not possible or as easy with an outside supplier. So let's take the textile garments that you wear. You can see that if you go overseas to Eastern Europe or to Mexico or Asia and buy in products for a low cost, you can see that those suppliers are very reluctant to change their schedules. Part of what and how they give you the low price, in fact, is to keep their processes stable and therefore, in fact, minimize their costs in their system. In this case, it's very difficult for you to alter what you need in line with the demand experiences that you're making. So this is the type of dilemma that companies are involved in, and that makes the supply chain and its management a very interesting and fascinating area.